Hello, welcome to Piper's Notes. I'm Piper and this is my dad. Today we're here with the Fortsons.
Let me tell you something, guys. First of all, if you know the Stinsons, we are very much about the NWA family. Our creed in our household is faith, education, rock, horror, pro wrestling, and Braves baseball, man. And the NWA family encapsulates all of that, but you cannot even begin to speak about the NWA family without talking about this man, the Fortson. Now, I know what you're thinking. The Fortson, hold on now. This is bigger than Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un. This is bigger than Reagan and Gorbachev in Reykjavik, Iceland. This is bigger than Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader in The Empire Strikes Back. Yes, it's true. Today we have on this guest in our venue, the one and only, the Fortson.
Oh yeah, freak out, man. I promise I'm gonna be nice, Simpson. I'm gonna be nice. Your daughter's here, so I don't want to embarrass you in front of her. So I'm gonna just be nice.
Well, how's it going, brother? How's quarantine life treating you?
It's okay. A lot of spare time, I've noticed. I mean, aside from having to wear a mask everywhere I go and not get within 5 feet of people, it's been no different than any other time.
So what's given? Give us paint a picture for us on any given day during COVID-19 quarantine. What might be going on in the Fortson household?
Well, basically, we'll get up. Typically, I have to check in with work about 8 o'clock. I'll get on and work on school stuff until about 4. Usually, I'm checking Twitter here and there. I spend way too much time on Twitter, as you probably are aware. And then that's pretty much just the day. Like, my kids are doing distance learning. I teach 6th grade science, so we're doing a lot of stuff on Google Classroom, and it's been a challenge because it's hard to get that interaction face to face. You don't have that interaction face to face. So now you've got to rely strictly on digital messaging, and you lose a lot of stuff that way.
Right. A lot of people don't realize that. Well, I mean, I guess people do realize. I should say that when you talk about the pro wrestling community, people obviously they start to think, and I don't want to be dismissive of anybody, but people think this is redneck, uneducated, just trailer park trash, just goofiness. But in our experience, pro wrestling has attracted and drawn in some very intelligent, well-placed professionals who are educated, and then you have the Fortson, who is
there we go.
The Fortson is an educator. What school are you at, Fortson?
I teach at Monster Creek Middle School in Kathleen, Georgia, about 2 hours south of Atlanta.
2 hours south of Atlanta. So we drive from Chattanooga to the tapings, 2 hours south. You drive from south of Atlanta 2 hours north. So we're virtually about the same distance from Atlanta.
My scenery's not near as nice as yours, though.
Right. Absolutely.
Flat down here. It's just farms and cotton fields. There's not much else.
So tell me about your kids.
They're just like any other kids on the planet. They're 6th graders. They're bouncy as all get out. You know how 11, 12-year-olds can be. I don't know what else to tell you.
Now, do they share your interest in football? I'm assuming they're Vols fans.
No, God, no. They're all Georgia fans. I'm knee deep in dogs down here.
Is that right? You're raising
Everywhere.
dogs fans. You're not nearly as bad as I thought you were.
2 other teachers are Tennessee fans, and that's it.
Now, how did you become a Tennessee fan? Just out of curiosity.
All my family's from Sevierville, which is in East Tennessee, outside of Knoxville.
So you're a Tennessee native.
Yeah, well, I'm not, but my family originally was. I was born and lived in Middle Georgia my entire life.
Okay, I got you. See, I was about to say, well, I respect that, but I'm gonna pull that comment.
Listen, I don't pull for the Falcons. I get crap about that all the time. I don't pull for the Hawks because I don't care much for the NBA personally. So I don't pull for UGA. So I get called traitor all the time. I'm used to being on the outside looking in when it comes to picking fandoms.
In our household, we do pull for the Dogs, the Hawks, the Falcons. We're hometown fans, but more important than all of that, in our estimation, is the Atlanta Braves.
Yes,
and we do pull for the Braves. So we have that in common, at least.
Funny thing is this year's the 25th anniversary of their last World Series win.
And we don't know how the year's playing out, but I am 100% certain because I've talked to my contacts and my agents and all that, and they assure me that this was the year that the Braves were going to win the World Series. So
I hope so.
Yeah.
They've got plenty of help. I mean, when you look at their roster, they've got lots of stars on there. They just got to put it together and make a run.
That's right. That's right. Who's your favorite? Tell the Fortson about some of our baseball rituals that we have in the Stinson household.
Oh yes, we have our baseball god. We haven't pulled him out in a while, and just when he gives us luck.
Well, he let us down. He let us down in the playoffs last year epically. But then I have to remind my household, look, Jabu's will is always accomplished. So it's not that he let us down; we let him down. He intended for the Braves not to win that series for some reason. I don't know who displeased who, but I think he kind of anticipated the fact that Josh Donaldson wasn't returning, and so he let his fury out on that game. But
it's on his timeline. We have to be patient.
Yeah, that's right. It's in Jabu's time. You're right. But anyway, brother. Hey, man, we brought the Fortson on, in the real world. Fortson and I are really good friends. We trash talk, but behind the scenes, we chit chat all the time. And we're gonna come together today to watch some rock and roll. We love rock in our household. I'm sure the Fortson does as well. I picked a special video for him. When you talk about the fan base and the people that are active in the Twitter world, the Twitterverse, the interwebs, as Adam Rotella would say, Fortson is right there up with the best of them. And so I couldn't think of a more fitting video for us to watch with the Fortson than the epic classic 1979 by Smashing Pumpkins, led by our president, our owner, William Patrick Corgan, who Piper agrees is who?
One of the greatest songwriters in English.
That's right.
One of the greatest
What'd she say? She's too
Speak
quiet.
up. Speak up.
One of the greatest songwriters in the English language.
Out of the mouths of babes.
That's
so
right.
Young and so wise.
So just for the record, Piper, because I know this is out there somewhere, who would you say are some of the greatest songwriters in the English language ever?
Billy Corgan, Amanda Palmer, Andrew Lloyd Webber, and
you're listening to Hamilton a lot right now.
Yeah, Lin-Manuel Miranda, and
well, we're not. Normally she'll say something like, and this is usually because this is what I'm listening to. She'll say something like, "I really love Depeche Mode," or "I like The Cure." You know, that's one. Those are my bands, but she's all about.
You're giving her a classical education.
Absolutely, man. Now we force our girls. I was telling Elder Sour in a previous interview, and we'll have to talk about the conspiracy later. Hashtag Snake and Sour. But we were talking about with Elder Sour, and I think I've told a few other guests. As educators, we don't make a whole lot of money, but we like to spend our money wisely, and we feel like traveling and cultural experiences are very important for our daughters. We force our daughters to listen to practically every genre. I mean, I like metal. I love metal. But she's going to listen to The Cure.
I like more classical music.
By classical, she means theater. She likes Andrew Lloyd Webber.
It's funny you mention Hamilton because my wife and I were supposed to go see that tomorrow. And then COVID.
Yeah. No, I hear you, man.
Fun times. The Christmas present, all set up, and then all of a sudden, that happened.
No, they gave you a certificate or a voucher to see it when it opens back up and all that.
Yeah, they're supposed to make another run at Fox in like September or something like that. So we'll see it. But I personally, because before I married my wife, I wasn't very much into musical theater at all. I think I had seen like Fiddler on the Roof when I was like 8th grade,
right?
And then she basically forced me, and she'll admit to this. She forced me to watch Shrek the musical. Mm-hmm. That was probably my gateway because I was like, "Oh, Shrek can't be that bad." Completely blown away by it. I listened to the soundtrack for Hamilton. Blown away by it, right. Especially as old because I used to teach high school history as well, and so it was it's my bread and butter. So good times. I hate that happened, but I hear you, Piper. Classical music's where it's at too.
So tell them about what we did in April.
Oh, in April, this is what we told Elder Sauer.
Speak a little louder.
Oh, in April, this is what we told Elder Sauer. We went to see Beetlejuice.
Wow.
We saw Rock of Ages and Phantom of the Opera.
I've seen Phantom. Phantom's really good. I haven't seen the other two. I've heard good things about Beetlejuice, so.
Oh my gosh,
is
man.
very popular. It was packed out.
That's what we got Piper for Christmas. Well, and we tacked on Phantom. Now we've seen Phantom every time Phantom comes around. We go see it. I've seen Phantom, 4 or 5 times. It's my favorite. But she really loves Beetlejuice, and so for Christmas we got her tickets. And of course it was kind of delayed gratification, which is healthy. But it's like we're going to go see it in February, or did we see it in February or April? It was February. I said April, but February. Yeah. Last April we went to see the Yankees play.
Yeah.
We went back in February, and I was all about seeing Rock of Ages, Stacey Jacks. That's my boy, and but we went in and we were blown away by Beetlejuice, man. It was absolutely, the word we keep using is delightful. It was a delightful musical, man.
Really?
Yeah, you guys have to see it if you're.
If they ever bring to the Fox, I guess we'll have to go see it. Then.
Yeah.
Though I really wanted to see Alex Brightman and Sophia and Caruso, but they weren't there.
Mm-hmm.
So they had the understudies playing.
Yeah, but then Sophia and Caruso, I think she went to do something else, and so Presley Ryan, the girl that we saw, who played Lydia, is now the main Lydia, and then Alex Brightman still has a job, but he wasn't there that night. But I really wanted to see Alex Brightman.
That happens with live theater. That happened to us when we went and saw Wicked. We didn't see it was the touring company, so whoever they had to lead for Alphabet, it was the understudy, so we got the backup, but it was still good.
Yeah. Wicked is my wife's favorite musical.
Yeah, Wicked is a good one.
No, Hamilton's her favorite musical.
She likes Hamilton now. But historically, before you brought Hamilton in our lives, we weren't even going to give Hamilton a shot just because of all the politics surrounding it and all that. We don't have a taste for that in our house. But then we gave it a listen to, and we're like, man, I'm digging this. This was freaking cool. So,
so now I'm showing my inner geek here, but the political aspects of all that go into it are so well done.
Yes.
Because all that stuff's happening behind the scenes. No one really knows a lot about that. And then Lin-Manuel Miranda reads that book and he's like, this is great. I got to tell the story. Like the cabinet battles.
Dude.
I love that.
I love the cabinet rap battles.
They're the epic. And then, of course, the George III sings, you say
He'll be back.
The price of my love's not a price that you're willing to pay. Sing along, Fortson.
No, I'm not
You're
doing
right. The tea that you hurl in the sea when you see me goodbye.
It's perfect, man. And of course, we went and we do a lot of reading. We read a lot in our house. I'd never read that biography. I actually did my dissertation on Braxton Bragg and the Army of Tennessee during the Chickamauga campaign. So my interests have always kind of ebbed towards Civil War related stuff, obviously, and most Georgians, that's how it is. But my wife and I both went and bought the Charno biography of Hamilton, and we're reading that now, but it was the musical that inspired us to read it. So it's, it's awesome. It's awesome.
That's
stuff.
great.
But, well, heck, man, let's jump into this. Let's jump into this rock and roll. Enough about theater.
Yeah, it's theater.
Whatever. What we'll do is we'll do a little 3, 2, 1, go, and on go we'll hit it and we'll just react, man. Just be spontaneous and speak what we feel. You hear me, Pip? You ready to rock to some William Patrick Corgan and the Smashing Pumpkins? Mm-hmm. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and go. Instantly, that little drum.
Oh, that's fun. I like it.
So this encapsulates the '90s. I don't care what anyone says.
Oh man, I'm surprised that we're alive, bro. How are we alive? I don't ever remember wearing a helmet on a bicycle ever.
Yeah, I mean, I don't either. I
She
was
wears
12 when the song came out, so this is hitting me right in the feels right now.
She wears a toboggan, foam, and a helmet on top of that.
Not because I want to.
Now she wears it with a face mask and gloves and stays 6 feet away from all the other neighborhood kids.
Look at that turtleneck. That turtleneck is fantastic.
I think Corgan can bring it back. Now, he kind of does. He always comes out with the scarves and stuff.
He can do that. He's a rock star. I'm a D student.
What kind of
As
student were you,
Fortson? I can't approve of that.
What kind of student were you, brother?
I was AB. My mom wouldn't let me be anything else.
Yeah.
I think I brought home one C in geometry in high school, and I didn't see my friends for like 2 years.
I really like this movie.
Shake these zipper blues. What does it mean by shake these zipper blues?
I have no idea.
He meant something, and it's deep. I just don't know what it is. It's like half of the things that he and our enlightened one, Josephus, said. I have no clue.
This party right here is going to get busted up in less than an hour, I guarantee.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
There's no way this party sticks. Unless this is an 80s or 90s rom-com, like, teen film, then sure, it'll stick around all night. But
now, did y'all have dances after football games in high school?
Huh?
Did y'all have dances after football games in high school?
No.
Y'all didn't? No. Man, we always had that. Now, of course, I'm a little older than you, I think. So.
No, they did the dances the night before or after. Like, you'd have a football game on Friday night and have it on Saturday.
Gotcha. we did. We would do. I went to Northwest Whitfield in Tunnel Hill, man. We'd have the game, and then right after, man, everybody go in there to the dance. There was always a fight, always some trouble. But now we don't do that at all, originally. We don't have dances, period. The prom, that's it.
Really?
That's it, man. Too much drama. Swimming with the clothes on, man. We've all done that.
Yeah, you must have been cooler than I was in high school, Stinson. There's no chance that was ever happening.
Right, look, come on, man. You don't. This ain't a gimmick, bro.
Right.
This don't just happen. You know what I'm saying? Actually, it just did happen.
So is Billy going to this party? Is that what's going on? Is he on his way there, or what?
I think he's just watching the kids from outside. And it's really weird.
Maybe he's the parent going in to bust up the party.
Maybe.
Well,
no,
I mean, he's
only like,
sat there
20,
for like
25
10 minutes.
Man, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Darcy was one of my first crushes growing up. I know they've since fallen out with the Pumpkins, but Darcy, man, she was the junk, boy.
That's the basis, right?
Yeah. A blonde chick, real
He just
pale.
threw that slushy away.
What are we even doing here? Why is this? See, there's a Karen. There's your Karen right there with a hair curler.
Yeah, it's Karen.
Popo.
The Popo.
Now we're buying. Okay, there's no way this happens in real life. Somebody would have busted this up by now.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Oh.
Piper, don't do this. This will get you arrested.
I'm smart.
You're smart. I'm just messing with you. Boom, man. That's one of the songs,
I don't see
man.
how anybody could dislike the Pumpkins. I never have understood that.
Gosh, man. Song after song after song. I know that was probably, that one probably had their biggest radio success. It was probably their biggest hit. But then you think of like Today and Rat in the Cage, Disarm. Disarm, I started playing guitar when I was 8th or 9th grade. That's the very first song I ever learned to play, man.
No, Disarm, a buddy of mine, the guy who actually got me to come to the first NWA taping, a buddy of mine named Wes, he's a huge Pumpkins fan.
Yeah.
And so he was like, dude, we gotta go. And I was like, there's wrestling there? Sure, I'll go. I don't care. Because I was just going with him just to go. I liked wrestling before, but I was like, I'll go just to see what happens. But he turned me on to the Pumpkins, and I was going through, because, I've been spending a lot of time on my computer looking at kids' work and whatnot. So I've been working my way through the Pumpkins discography. So I was, I can't remember the name of it. It was off the Geist album. I think was it
Zeitgeist.
I'd have to go back and look, but there's a couple of songs off that one that I really, really liked.
Yeah.
That I had never really heard before, because the only Pumpkin stuff I listened to was off Melancholy and Infinite Sadness.
Yeah, right. That was a big one, and his catalog is so huge. It's like now, my favorite band. I love The Cure, man. The Cure are my favorite band of all time. But their catalog is so big that most people who aren't like devoted to them like we are, like she can probably sing almost every song off of every Cure album. That's just because she's been brainwashed, and But most of even your Cure fans are gonna like the Cure title album or some of the later stuff that came out in the last 3 or 4 years. They've just got so much volume that it's hard to ingest all of it, It's but every now and again you'll pop in a record and you'll hear Jim like, man, I forgot about that. Robert Smith is such a great song, but Billy Corgan's the same way, man. He just writes and creates nonstop.
Yeah, he's really good at it.
Yeah.
I have a few questions for you.
Okay.
If you were a Broadway, or if you could choose any Broadway character you could play, what would you pick?
That's a toss-up. I would either do Shrek, from Shrek the Musical, or King George III from Hamilton. Both of those roles would be interesting. I've never done any musical theater, but I've toyed around with the idea of doing it.
It's funny because like a lot of the people that we've talked to, Rotella, Gary Horn, Elder Sauer, Aldous, a lot of them have experience in background. Gary Horn actually went to college on a music scholarship, so they all. Every single one of them loved theater. All of them did.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Wasn't Aldous like Genie in a production of...
Yeah, so they do this...
they do this thing every Christmas, I think, where they take a children's story and they make it into a production with some people.
Huh.
And they put some stuff in it for everyone. Not just kids.
Right.
It's called Pano, I think. Panama, Pano, I think is what they called it. But he was explaining that he'd done 2 or 3 of those, and they try to bring in some people of some celebrity status or some notoriety in Nick Aldis's case. And so he had done that, and we talked a little bit about that. We spent a lot of time talking about that, actually. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I had never even knew about it until he posted something on his Instagram the other day, and I happened to see it.
Yeah.
I was kind of like, oh, you can wrestle and act. How about that?
Yeah, well, that's the appeal. I think that's why, like someone like Piper, who, it was such an easy sell for her to get into wrestling. Now, we've always watched wrestling, so she grew up in it. So there's the nature versus nurture bit. She's been kind of nurtured in it. But she has such a theatrical bit anyway. She has a creative instinct about her. That it's an easy sell for you to go from, say, like horror movies to rock and roll to theater to pro wrestling. It's all the same. I mean, it's all in the same family. So that's why you find a lot of people that have these same interests. We're going to interview a really interesting guy here next week. I don't know if you've heard of him. I don't know how steeped you are in like the NWA culture prior to the Impact days or right during that time. Or you're not like the Adam Pearce days. Were you following that at all back then?
For me, the NWA was something that happened in the 80s, and then what happened last year. That's really
gotcha. Well, I encourage you to go back because the 80s were the golden age, and we're really feeling that. The way I feel now is the way I felt in the 80s. It's the same feeling. But there was a really vibrant period for a while back, I want to say in the mid-thousands, where there was a lot of NWA promotions out there, like NWA Chaos, NWS, and there was a local guy by the name of Reverend Dan Wilson. His Twitter feed is @Devil's Rejects, and he's got this Rob Zombie horror appeal to him, but he's such a cool guy. I mean, he's so intelligent, like Josephus. You know how intelligent that guy is. He's just so versatile and just crafted and skilled in so many areas, but we're bringing him on in a week or so. But you see a lot of that, man, in pro wrestling, and that's one of the reasons we wanted to do Piper's Notes, was because we felt like this was a good way for her to kind of broaden her cultural horizons and see how in the providence of God's creation, a lot of these things, fit together in a worldview. And so
it makes you well-rounded.
It makes you well-rounded for sure.
I have another question for you. I have like 2 more questions. One, what is your favorite band?
Ooh, see, that's a hard question to answer because it depends on what you're looking at. If you're looking at genres or if you're looking at styles, I would say the band I can always listen to, regardless of what's going on or how I feel, would probably be Dave Matthews.
My
I really like band. Dave Matthews. As far as rock bands go, you know, I guess current. Let's do this. Let's say current rock bands. There's a rock band called I Prevail. I don't know if you guys are familiar with them. Love me some I Prevail. Kill Switch Engage is a good one. Mm-hmm. There's lots of them. It's hard to nail down just one. But I'm very what's the word?
Eclectic.
Eclectic. Thank you. I had a brain for it. I couldn't remember exactly what it was.
And this is a guy who's got one of the best vocabularies in the NWA family.
Well, I can thank my mom for that. She made me read the dictionary a lot when I was a kid. I got in a lot of trouble. Anyway, I know you're shocked by that, Robert. So yeah, if you're talking like different genres, I could pick out different genres of ones I like, but it's hard to nail down just one.
Yeah, right. I mean, we're with you, man. We on any given day, we might be listening to some Chris Stapleton or Depeche Mode or, you know, Broadway musicals. We listen to a lot of Christian rock. We're Presbyterians in our house, and we like, you know, our daughter's named Petra. We didn't name her after the Christian rock band Petra, but because of that, my wife has now developed this postpartum affection for the band Petra. So we've gone back and listened to a lot of stuff, but we listen to a lot of that stuff, man. So
I grew up in the church, so I know you're talking about like Jars of Clay.
Oh yeah, man.
Audio Adrenaline. And,
DC Talk.
A whole bunch of it. DC Talk.
I think we're going to do DC Talk's Jesus Freak with Nikita. That's what we're trying to arrange. So.
Oh, that'll be good.
Yeah.
Nikita will probably have a field day with that one.
Heck yeah, he will. I always end up taking over the show. It's supposed to be her show. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
What is your
You talking about his guilty pleasure?
Yeah, your guilty pleasure.
In music.
Oh, I absolutely love really trashy pop music. Like really, really trashy pop music.
You talking about like Lady Gaga or K-pop?
Yes, I can affirm that. I do like a little Lady Gaga. It doesn't really matter. Like my wife will listen to the radio and she's like, "This is garbage," and I'm sitting there driving the car like, "This is great. What are you talking about? This is fantastic."
You know how when you're looking at your Google Play or your iTunes and they'll tell you like what your most listened to song was that month or whatever? Mm-hmm. For much of the last 3 or 4 months, my most listened to song was Despacito.
I was so annoyed.
It's catchy though. There's really not a lot you can do about that.
In the Bieber version of it, man. You know.
Oh, now you've gone too far.
That's what I said.
No. There's room in the world for Justin Bieber. There's room in the world for Bieber.
Yeah, it's back in Canada where he belongs.
I used to call him Justin Bieber because I thought his last name was Bieber.
Shoot, I always get curious. I was like, "Hey kids, y'all listen to that new Jason Bieber record?" They're like, "What?" I'm like, "You take me Justin?" I'm like, "No, don't correct me. I know all there is to know about pop culture. I know Turner Swift, LeVon James, Serena Gomez. I know them all."
Does LeBron James even music?
LeBron James is one of the highest rated pop stars of all time, except he plays basketball.
His last album wasn't that good. I wasn't real thrilled with it.
Nah. Cool deal, man. Well, Fortson, man, I know you're busy, brother. You got some distance learning projects to get to and fatherhood and all that kind of stuff. We just appreciate you joining us, man, and taking out a few minutes to hang out with us, watch some rock and roll and talk trash a little bit and give gab about life and philosophy and culture and those kinds of things, man. We appreciate you. You're one of the big parts of the NW family. You make being in that community a lot of fun. We love interacting with you, even if the world thinks that we're at each other's throats all the time. We know that it's all in good fun, man. And
it's all the work.
It's all the work, man. We got you. We got you, NWA community. Suckers. But anyway, brother, hey, we'll let you go, man, and we'll talk to you real soon, okay?
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Absolutely. Take care, man.
All right.